Hello, United Rogue Overwatch. We are back with another Ruby game for you guys. We've got, what is this, week 5, Dallas versus Louisville. I'm the trash can. I'm joined by the
Mr.
lovely Advon.
Adbon.
Let's get this
Yep.
started. And
Hopefully, a high quality Overwatch match.
I'm excited. I think this is what, Dallas' second week with the new roster, so definitely saw some good plays from them last week. Let's see if they can up their game this week.
Yeah, they're definitely looking for a first series win. So, this isn't the hardest game possible for them. Ideally, you would say that they might want to face Baltimore, but Louisville is the other lower team right now. So,
Yeah.
hopefully they can get that first mark up on the board.
Yeah,
Would be rather important actually, because that would give both them and Louisville one win, and could maybe, in theory, depending on how some shenanigans ends up, might lead to a playoffs thing. But I'm not quite sure if that would work out.
We'll see. So Louisville did in fact win the coin flip, and they have opted for the first ban. We're getting right into this. Dallas has chosen to go to Ilios.
Yeah, Ilios, very classic map.
It's a bit, I don't know. Let's see what happens. It's like, it is one of those like known Lucio funny maps, so maybe we get some cool Lucio going there.
Yeah, I mean, we have Soup on the roster here on one side. Honestly, I have no idea who would be playing main support on the other team, but Soup, big fan of running it down on the Lucio.
Looks
maybe
like,
feeding, maybe getting kills.
Maybe, and we're also getting the Rico DPS, so that'll be interesting to see. I don't think we've seen that since like season 3 of United Rogue. Looks like Louis opting to ban Pharah here, just shutting down Marked completely. Poor guy.
Yep, and
right off the bat.
And now going for the Kiri ban.
It's interesting. I imagine Dal's probably gonna try to pull off some Brigana here.
Brigana would make sense. This is a really good Brigana map, especially Lighthouse, being able to sit on the high ground. Your Brig can drop whenever needed while still being able to pack the Ana, help participate on point. Ana can try and throw nades, look for sleeps. Really good sight lines.
I mean, I think that's what they ran when I played against them on this map, so I imagine they'll probably just pull the same strat out.
Yeah, I mean, and with the Kiri gone, that removes a lot of the ability to play faster comps that are more consistent. I mean, Kiri, at least in high level play right now, the primary support that you're going to have if you're not playing something like Juno Brig, but with that gone, even though Lucio's still in there, if you want to play faster comps, you're looking at either Moira Lucio or Bap Lucio, neither of which are quite as good. I mean, you could try and play the Juno Lucio, but that's a pretty fragile backline. You have to be careful of getting picked off early.
I'm also not sure if we've ever seen Helios pick up those characters, so it'll be interesting to see how Louis' backline swaps up around that.
Yeah, I think it'll be. I mean, it's definitely feels like it's, if not necessarily target bans, more shaking it up completely. I mean, getting rid of the Pharah early, something that Dallas, I believe, has liked to play a lot. Some success, you could say, but it's hard to say for sure if that was the best choice for them, or if it was just they know that this is a good farm map and Dallas likes to play it.
We'll see, I guess. We're now
heading into the game.
Heading in. This is interesting. New Dal.
Yep, New Dal.
Louis, because they're down Smooth.
Yeah, Smooth, probably one of their more important players to have, really sets up their backline to be the best that it can be while still having a very good DPS player. And, I mean, first map here is going to be Lighthouse on Ilios, and already the Ana Brig selected on the side of Dallas. Yep. And the Juno Lucio on the other side already selected. So this will be pretty interesting to see how this turns out, because with the D.Va, Juno Lucio play a lot more brawly, maybe trying to anchor point. You can control high grounds, but it's harder. You just have to sort of play really quickly and hope that you don't get immediately deleted by this dive. We'll see what marked up swaps to off of the sim, because I'm assuming he's not going to stay on that.
Rico on the Tracer? I don't know if I've ever seen
this.
Okay,
and marked up is in fact staying on the sim. I'm not sure I necessarily agree with that, but it'll be interesting to see how that works out.
I will say, like, I do know that he can play other characters, but Pharah is definitely his best one, and what he plays often, so...
Early damage coming out onto the Ana side of Louisville, dropping super low. Able to finish the kill actually on Cake. Interesting that he got caught out there. Marked up dying early, and yeah, just the dive. The instant Cake dies. They had no real pressure on the backline, and they sort of got boxed like a fish in cage here. Not really able to get any space. They opted not to take the high ground, actually, which was... we'll call it an interesting strategic decision.
I mean, this is... I do have to say, there is a stinky Sombra.
That's true. Dire locking the Sombra. I mean, already doing actually a pretty good job of building the EMP, getting farm in, and you can see that Dallas is setting up early on this high ground. The high ground that Louisville would want to be or I think other way around. Louisville's on Dallas's high ground, but trying to control this early. Johan jumping in, sort of just jumping around.
You're getting super low.
Yeah, and so is Johan taking a lot of poke. Getting chased down by the Sombra from Dire, but he gets caught up by Wanu. Gonna drop early.
Oh, but
the trade. The trade out from Wanu. Rico is gonna die early to that. They're looking for the trade out. Soup's gonna barely be able to make it out, but now it's gonna be a 3v4, seeing if, well, if Dow or Louisville can get advantage here. Log's gonna get the kill on Helios. Looks like one fight there for Dallas. Oh, but I mean, maybe not. Marked up dies late. There's still a sort of fight going here, but Banger's probably going to lose the mech. Maybe, yep.
Oh,
Remac uses bomb. Doesn't get chased down. Soup, however, does die to the pulse bomb from K. And that's going to be a fight win here for... I believe that's Dallas. Don't remember.
Dallas. I don't think they named the team.
They didn't.
Yeah.
Alright, next fight coming in quickly. Johan taking massive amount of poke. Gonna get the EMP dropped on him. Doesn't have the primal yet. Can he live long enough? Doesn't live long enough. Full spawn stuck on him. Rally from Log is gonna trade out onto Soup. Does get hacked. However, not gonna go down. Banger, yeah, Banger's gonna end up losing the mech. Pulse bomb from Rico goes out. Catches absolutely nobody.
He's able to get health pack.
However, Wanu gonna get hacked and traded out from Dire, and Rico good chase onto him, but Cake is gonna find the trade back onto Rico. Log, however, dropping really low. Can they finish the kill? They do. This is a massive trade-out game. 2v2 with the Juno coming back. Gonna get caught out and, man, probably die here. Yeah, and it looks like Dallas is maybe gonna keep holding on to this, even though they trade out on marked up. Soup has no HP. Banger has no HP. Yep, Dallas gonna hold on to that point. Let's see, are they going to stagger this baby diva? A bit.
A little bit.
But going into this next fight, we have double support ults from Louisville, coming close up to another bomb. Probably I feel they should just be trying to run it down onto point, but it's going to be difficult going to the 4 ults that Dallas has, especially that Simul and that Nano. It's going to make it really, really difficult just to keep Helios alive, even with a beat.
I'm just staring at... I wonder, if these are Wessler's crosshairs, or if they're the team's crosshairs? That's
early Nano Primal going to come out. Will Johan be able to find a kill? Trying to pressure out Soup. Soup's going to drop without being able to get the beat off. There's going to be a touch here from Dire. And Rico's going to lose the Tracer 1v1 to Cake. Dire has no HP. He's going to have to touch, but he dies before he can get touched. Marked up, able to kill him in the invis. Just marking the doorway. And Dallas is, yeah, they're gonna take that first round.
Damn.
It was a good early dive attempt. Managed to get a lot of pressure onto Louisville as they're rotating through this sort of side alleyway on the left. Probably they should have tried to take a closer rotation, but ended up not working out for them. Nano engage on the Winston with the Primal. Soup dies early, unable to use beat there, and then Dallas just cleaned up with massive ult advantage.
This is great. I just get to sit back and let you talk. This is the easiest cast I've ever had. Thank you. I'm just like, yep, that's all right. Like, there's nothing for me to add. You're just...
professional yapper. I mean, Helios now gonna be swapping over to the Moira. A lot more survivable than the Juno.
Oh, for sure. I mean...
Less utility, but maybe more of just trying to keep them alive. I can respect that decision. this sort of a fast style Winston rush comp with the Somber Tracer. They have to be trying to play quickly onto like this Symmetra or this Ana Brig here. They're both gonna roll out sort of middle or into the side area by the bridge. That's where Dallas is gonna keep their backline set up. Not a terrible choice, but if they do get walked on there, it can be difficult to disengage. So there's gonna be a lot of posturing here, a lot of forcing out. Cake gets hacked early and is gonna die. That's good start here for Louisville on this first fight, but Marked Up is very charged. He really needs to be focused here. Yep, gonna get hacked, gonna get virus. Gonna die.
Dyer, though.
Yeah, Dyer gets traded out, but advantage still here for Louisville. And yep, they're gonna try and run into this small room, get naded out. Can't really chase easily, but playing their life and they live in. They get first cap and the first fight win.
Enrico able to take out Cake in a 1v1.
That's very good. Loses some space that the Tracer can generate. Marked Up here a bit on his own out in middle, but not really getting chased down. Gonna be able to TP out, and now Dallas backing up, giving space, looking to sort of re-engage and retake another fight on this this point here.
We already have Pulse Bomb on the side of Lily here.
Johan dropping really low. Oh, Rico missed the Pulse Bomb, but Log didn't block it in time, so he still took massive amounts of damage from the splash and is going to drop. But the trade out onto Soup, it's going to be an even 4v4. Banger going in deep, doesn't quite have the primal yet. He might end up dying here, actually. Full charge Sim, going to end up killing him, and the Sim is going to take the TP out and live. But there is a trade out onto Wanu. The Moira chasing the Sim down, managing to get the kill. Johan going to be really low, pops the primal. Still a winnable fight, even though Dallas might be down 1. They just have to find something quickly. Cake falls off the map. So that's...
Cake tried to blink in to steal the health back from Rico and was able to get it, but ends up going off the map for it.
Yeah, and now Johan is going to be sort of on his own. Rally pop by Log, generating a bit of forward pressure here. Going to get hacked. Beat and Coalescence used. Going to push in on Log. Log is going to drop early. Marked Up is going to follow him. Cake and Johan are both 1. Yanni is going to die. Johan died. And just leaves Cake. Cake is going to make it back to spawn. And, you know, Dallas used their rally and primal there, didn't really get anything, and now they have to get a touch, but it's really up to Cake here, maybe Marked Up. They're going to be found out early. Marked Up's going to get pressured, uses the Simul, not an ideal position, not able to split point. Cake does manage to the touch, gets the recall marked early. Marked Up gets booped off the map by Soup. Cake doesn't have recall here. EMP comes out, hits the break, and another boop, I think, onto Wadu. Gets booped off the map. Johan with the nano, only 1 left on his team, going to drop. No chance here for Dallas to win that one, and that was much better from Louisville, playing a much faster comp, much more linear map. And really, the Sim, I feel like it's just not the play here. You sort of would want basically any other DPS.
Come on, the poor guy's on one trick.
Listen, there's a respect. I mean, as a fellow one trick, at least for this season, I respect the attempt, but like, you gotta at least make it work.
I do think it feels like he's kind of just struggling to find his ring.
Now we're swap over to May. I like these swaps actually from Dallas here, playing a lot more brawl oriented and trying to sort of just take the frontline battle and pressure out this rush monkey dive.
Entire roster swap here, and we've got Arisa, Genji, May, Lucio, Bap instead.
Now, I would love to see them play Cage, and they do end up sort of rotating. They're Marked Up a bit slow in the rotate. Wanu just chilling main, completely on their own. Ideally, you would have seen like a fast rotate there from... fast rotate onto the high ground, forces out. Wanu, maybe you can force out Lamp here. There's regen burst. Can we get the Lamp out? Wanu, 1 HP still on the high ground. Gonna get killed here, gets the hack off on him, and Cake's going to die. Yep. Just Wanu not rotating with the team, gets caught out early, and even though Helios is going to drop as well, Marked Up just sort of staggering themselves. And
that Moira kind of just hurt there.
Yeah, sort of a free fight when Cake going to swap off the Genji onto the cast. I like this pick. Torb or Reaper, both are valid. Probably, there it is, the Torb from the May. Not a terrible idea. Torb is really good right now, even after some of the nerfs onto his passive and his turret, but...
The Junker Queen out of Johan here.
Yeah, Junker Queen, really good on the brawl. There's almost a successful boot by Soup. but nothing quite yet. Johan walking in, hits Soup with the axe. Gonna drop low, manage to skate out. Dyer, however, gets found, but Wanu dropping first yet again on their team, but Banger probably went into it a bit too far, got caught out by the poke, wasn't really prepared, and now, yep, Soup gonna die to the poke as well, and this looks like a fight win here for Dallas. Gonna get their first percentage here in these last 2 rounds. And going into this next fight, we really only have maybe the primal mid-fight or early in the early fight if you're lucky. I mean, okay, Banger jumping right in. It was a good hack on the log, but they're gonna find the kill. I mean, fair enough, but Banger gets knifed back in by by Johan, and Marked Up getting the kill on Soup. Don't really know how that happened. I'm guessing Rico also got flashbanged. And even though it was a really good kill onto Wanu, they just probably went a bit too early, weren't in good position, and Rico now swapping off of the Tracer onto the Reaper. Not a terrible pick, however, he has to be really careful here of the poke coming out from Caked and Marked Up. Really, probably looking for some sort of TP. Amazing boot by Soup! Boops Cake right off the map, hack onto Johan, Monkey jumps in onto Wanu in the back line, beat comes out from log, doesn't hit Wanu, however, Limp use early, Soup's gonna drop as well. Primal popped by Banger, gets Wanu in the corner. It's going to be a 4v3 right now. Marked Up is 1 HP, getting focused. Can they get the kill? They do. Rico gets his Wraith Force, not getting killed. Johan still alive, close to the ult, but gets hacked, won't be able to use it here. Gonna get staggered out. And really, that's just the tail. The tail so here far, here on this map has just been Wanu just dying early here on the Baptiste.
I also think the ability for them to just immediately try to follow up on the big elim from Soup there.
Yeah, just the speed of this Monkey Rush is able to get in really fast, try and isolate a target, and they've been doing really good. I mean, Soup's been hitting very nice boops, but also just they've been getting onto Wanu here, and either Wanu hasn't been positioning super well. Banger almost gets booped off from that. Quick run in here. Coalescence is going to be used. Big EMP. However, Helios standing in the molten core dies. Banger dies to it as well, but it's probably not going to be enough. Johan has no HP. Just Cake is left. Actually, sort of just pistol whips Dyer there. Gonna end up sort of sitting him down, but still a fight win there. Only colon EMP used. However, Marked Up was the only one to use ult there as well from Dallas.
I love at the end of the fight just watching the Reaper try and shoot the fucking
the torch
turret on the wall from forever away. I love to see it.
In this next one, you have beat for the Queen ult. Lamp is used super early. That's no lamp used. Banger jumps in immediately, gets windowed and falls over. But a boop onto Johan! That's no Queen ult.
My goodness!
This is still a winnable fight. If they keep Rico up, Rico can get his ult off here. And Soup can maybe shoot the turret! Rico in here.
Please shoot the turret!
Marked Up, there goes Mark! Oh my god! Soup, you need to be beating this! Beat engage! Rico has ult! They're going in! Here comes the Death Blossom, no lamp for it! Rico gonna clean up both supports! Cake going for the high noon, not enough, going to get cleaned up!
Holy shit!
Soup just doing the Lord's work here on this map. That was a massive open kill on the Banger there for Dallas. And it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, no. I mean, Soup turned around and said, I could do that too. Takes out Johan, and suddenly, I mean, it's back in a 4v4, and holy shit. Nah, Soup carried that last fight.
Getting the kill on the Junker Queen removes, all of their frontline pressure. They lose the Queen ult. There's no pressure now for the beat. I mean, it's, if anything, the perfect kill.
That was great. Damn, I went to go do the prediction. Why did nobody vote for Dallas? Yo, 2 people put in 20 channel points.
I mean,
a 1 to 117 return rate if they won. Guys, come on, have more faith.
I guess it ended up being the correct pick, however,
I guess so, but
they just massive. I mean, so to be fair though, Dallas on that first map looked good.
It did.
Okay, apparently we're just gonna lose a DPS here for and Lemon's in.
Oh, Lemon's in.
Cake is out, Lemon is in.
This will make it more interesting because
I know absolutely nothing about Lemon. No clue what they do, what they play, who they are.
Top 500. I believe it's Trace or Soj? I'm gonna say Trace or Ash Soj. based on their current heroes played. Yes, pretty high rank player, but they are also console.
Okay, so you know the inferior version, obviously. Not quite as relevant
That's not the
here.
depth. Still probably one of their best players on one of the best players on
Well,
this team.
I would say so. I
Yeah.
don't really know who else you would put that for. Like,
And
at
I
best, you
definitely
would
think
say Johan.
like when Detroit was racing them, he was definitely like a force to be reckoned with. But they're just different. After playing them last week, like I think Dallas is good, but they're missing something. Still, new Dallas is definitely better than old Dallas, but they're still missing something. Maybe they found it.
Maybe, I mean, yeah, maybe
We'll see.
Lemon is the missing
No, we got
piece,
Lemon.
the perfect jigsaw piece of the puzzle here coming into to clinch out the rest of the series. But it's gonna be, I mean, you know, Dallas did win the first round of Ilios there, and it was only like sort of close. They definitely looked like they had an idea for what was going, but once they had to play against these sort of more lateral maps, more horizontal maps with rush comps being much better, they sort of just lost their way. They weren't able to keep the backline up as much. I mean, that's, you know, Wanu getting caught out early. Johan not able to take as much space as easily on the Winston. Ended up swapping to Orisa, then JQ. Didn't quite look as comfortable. And of course, you know, just walking into soup and, you know, sort of single file, not really paying attention to the Lucio getting caught out by those boops into the pit.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens here. Dallas opting to go to Blizzard World here.
Yeah, I mean, I like this pick based off of purely the one round that they won. This map has a lot more verticality, and you can even see like from their first ban, Dallas here is going to end up banning Ramatra, sort of getting rid of those harder rush style or brawl style comps, which can definitely work here. But considering what Louisville showed on that last map, they still have to be really careful here of the Winston Sombra like Tracer dives or even Reaper here. But it should be easier. They're on a more vertical map, a lot more defensible high grounds. Really, I think their main struggles would be on first point, possibly third. But second point is on this map can be super difficult. You have to sort of balance the cart while balancing high ground. Otherwise, you just end up in like the spin cycle of death, where you try and take high ground one too many times, the cart pushes all the way back, well then you have to push cart forward, and you either have to do it split, so you're taking a disadvantaged fight, or you're just sitting on low ground the whole time, taking more of a disadvantaged fight. I think that this is a good map pick. I would have liked to see probably a ban on Winston, but maybe they're planning on playing it themselves.
Maybe.
And we're going to be looking to see what Lou is going to ban here.
I mean, I don't know. I am wondering why not the Winston. Maybe because they want to play it. Ramatra is one of Banger's more played characters. Mercy ban.
Mercy.
They don't want the farm Mercy.
No, wait. Is that true? Is this a true ban? Is this real?
Yes,
it is.
Yes.
Mercy.
We are banning Mercy.
Mercy banned.
I guess they don't want to deal with a farm Mercy. Is probably what I'm thinking.
Pharmacy, not super great, especially on this map. Really open sight lines. I'm not sure I agree with this. Like, it's not even.
I don't know.
It's not even like a protection ban because they banned second.
Maybe it was more of just like a, you don't really care what we ban? I don't know. This is interesting. I also don't know if we would have seen a farm Mercy out of Dallas.
I mean, they're going to be on defense here first. Louisville taking first attack. You can play Pharmacy on defense here if you play it correctly, play a split angle, sort of play your distance, play the rooftops. It's just hard. It's just really hard. It's easier on defense than attack, but it's just... I'm not sure I agree with this Mercy play. Or like this Mercy ban.
This would be interesting. I mean, I don't know. I also don't know if I agree with the Mercy ban. I probably would have opted more towards banning a DPS or trying to get.
Yeah, I would say that too, but yeah, maybe supports. You could definitely say banning the Ana. I mean, we can see here Dallas coming out on again classic Ana break backline with the Torb. Johan going to opt instead of this D.Va at first, looking at the Sigma. Personally, I think that either Winston or D.Va would have been better. Sigma's not a bad tank here, but it doesn't fit quite as well with the comp, and definitely harder to play. Lemon marked up, Torb Surge, not bad at all. Very good, in fact. Probably the 2 best DPS in the game currently. Maybe a shout out to Genji being pretty good right now. I'm not sure about this comp. However, from Louis, I'm assuming that the Life Weaver is just for a quick Widow shot and he's going to swap. I like the Kiri, I like the Ashe, I like the Winston, but I'm not quite certain I want to see Ashe Lucio with it. But that's what it seems like. This is going to be an interesting play. It's a very fast-paced comp, except with some long-range DPS here from Louisville. They're really going to have a hard time executing dives. If anything, they're going to have to play for Hitsu. And Banger sort of playing ring around the rosy with Helios. Not able to get healed.
Yeah, just
going to drop.
That was Rico checking it out.
Yeah, Rico still alive. Gets the Suzu. Wait, they didn't chase the kill onto Rico. They needed to chase that a lot faster, and just not able to get the kill. Banger swapping over to the Zarya. I'm gonna say it. I think that this is even a worse pick. And Rico running in, gonna die. Zarya here is just so hard to play, even with this fast backline. Like, sort of the same issues as the Winston. You have really more pokey DPS, but you're trying to play more aggressive with the Zarya. There's no one really going in here, like a Reaper or Genji, that you can bubble and get free value. I'm just wondering, like, how this is going to be played. They have to try and play fast on the Sigma, but there's so much poke here from the side of Dallas that taking this space could be super difficult. I mean, first bubble is going to be used. They're going to find the turret and kill it. Dallas giving up the space. I like this play. They want to play slower. They want to play for angles. Johan doing that. Another bubble used. Misses the rock block, but again...
Goes die
yeah, marked up. Just getting the poke damage in. And this is the problem I'm talking about. Like, how do you take the space here? This is not the right tank with the right comp, or, you know, the right DPS with the right tank, and Banger sort of just getting ran at here by the Torb, getting fully chased. He's gonna get the kill marked up on him, but Soup somehow killing Lemon and all of that, and marked up too far forward. Soup
and getting marked!
Too. And Log is hacked, really low HP. Dire's gonna go in. They're gonna find the kill.
Log and...
Okay.
Bro.
I don't like that. Just shouldn't have happened.
I was not watching it, but I was watching through the wall. How did Soup live? How did he get to? No idea, but holy shit!
Just basically inexcusable fight loss there from Dallas. You had all of the space. You had the early pick. And
that was.
I don't know. Like, they got too greedy. They just tried to.
I'm disappointed in Dallas for that.
That's just not acceptable, really. And now the swap on the Sombra, I do not mind at all. Here, I mean, gonna make getting this Sigma ult off really quite difficult. And yet, I mean, Dire all the way in the back line, set up for a hack on the Log here. Gonna hit the virus on him. Not really gonna do anything. Really, it's just gonna be a slow walk down the middle on this low ground. Johan dropping to me. I'm not quite sure I agree with that, but sort of he doesn't really have the help from the rest of this team. They're all really split, trying to find this Sombra, hooking out people on high ground. Lemon sliding in onto Rico. Is he going to die here? Drops really low, gets packed, isn't going to die, but they had to give up a lot of space for that. Johan just keeps getting pushed back, gets hacked. Lemon going to drop down the overclock early. Sigma ult comes out as well. Lemon finding the kill there. Very nice early kill. Gets another kill onto Dire. And gets the third kill on the Soup. Alright, good for Lemon. They managed to find the value here. That's what you want to see from your Sojourn. Getting it up with a nice 4K finish. Johan throwing in the Flux as well. Probably not needed, but you never know. But what's really important here, you know, is Louisville didn't use an ult for that fight. So you're going into this next fight, you're going to have basically everything. And it's just going to be whether or not this overclock and these double support ults can deal with the double support ults and really, like, EMP here from Louisville. They're going to be taking this high ground early, and this is a good start for the Molten Core. However, they're not really able to find ideal splits here. They're getting a lot of poke damage in, but not really getting the kills. Beat used, I'm not sure I agree with that beat, really, from Soup. They weren't able to walk in for it because, you know, Molten Core was still down. Banger takes a ton of poke, doesn't drop fast enough, doesn't get the help. Maybe no Suzu or just no bubbles. Dies early, and really just a disastrous fight here from Louisville.
Dire. Yeah, no, that was just abysmal. Now I'm disappointed in Louisville.
Yeah, I mean...
That beat was
really just throwing a beat there into the void, not getting anything done. We're kind of we want to get the hand inspector, see if Soup has any hands left after that one. Really, you know, hoping for, you know, the best for his health right now. I mean, going in this next fight again, the double support ults are still going to be in play, and Lemon making their way up to another overclock very quickly. And this is, again, the sort of predicament here of Blizzard World. How do you push through these overlying bridges and this overlying high ground? They're going to be able to do it, I mean, surprisingly well. They're just going to grab.
Big grab with an EMP,
really
and they're able to
the
just...
rally that's used, they're just able to walk it in.
Cap off of that, damn.
I mean, Dallas there, once they made it under that second bridge, you probably had to drop, send like your signal down there, probably with like the rig and maybe the Soj.
I thought they were, and then they just didn't.
Yeah,
and then they got grabbed, and it was
took
like,
too long,
yeah,
got grabbed by
over.
Lemon, gonna die late here, but did stall the cart for a little bit. Not too bad. But really good combo there. Going into this next fight, again, Sojol with a nano. Maybe we see a nano Sojol. It's definitely possible. I mean, there's not a lot to block that damage other than Bubbles, and perhaps Suzu has yet to work away up to another beat. It's just, I feel like this fight's going to be decided who can take it faster and more aggressive, which you would like to see from Louisville with the Kitsu here. Nano comes out early, Kitsu going to be dropped in exchange. The Nano, not super great. However, Vigo going to die after popping Visor, and he's going to find the kill in the soup. The Nano somehow managing to get value there. Lemon finds the kills here on the follow-up. Kitsu, not a terrible place to put it. However, the team was kind of split, wasn't really prepared to go in for it. I think it was more of a reactionary Kitsu from Helios upon seeing that Nano wasn't really prepared. Ideally, they would have, Kitsu'd earlier, amp speed in, just isolate either Johan or like Log or maybe marked up here. We have the funny sticky turret getting some poke in, but Soup, again, has yet to get that ult up. It could be pivotal here if Johan goes for his ult early, which he will. Log, however,
really low.
Dropping super low. Soup's gonna get bubbled. Soup's going to live. Didn't get focused in the air. Lemon on a flank here.
Oh,
not able to get the kills. However, Rico just gets deleted by poke damage. Marked up, however, on his own, unable to get help. Johan is sort of split here. On to Dyer in the backline. Dyer gets rocked and no help. Johan still behind. They need to turn and kill this Sigma. Banger just, no eyes available at all. Just trying to sort of walk it down. No care at all for the Sigma in his backline. And Lemon just going to find a kill on a Soup there. Really, I mean, Louisville's still struggling to play aggressive here.
I feel like I'm watching a completely different team from first game.
I mean, the speed that they showed before just sort of not there. I mean, really, you would love to see a Winston even here from Banger just to force the team sort of to play faster. I like this rotate, however, going through under, beat engage. Can they find a kill here? Big EMP. They're going to find marked up. Can they get the kill on Johan? Perfect. This is going to be a nice round kill. That's...
They heard us!
They heard it! You have to play fast with this comp. They finally did it. It just took getting, the two best ults, on their team. Debatably, maybe Kitsu better than Beat, but it took getting a support ult, getting EMP, and just running it down. Why couldn't they have done this earlier with the Kitsu? No one knows. But finally worked out, and, what's most important here is they did cap with time. So,
so there is chance for them to...
Yeah, so, even if Dow does full cap, it won't immediately go to draw or lose. They still have the chance to play for a win.
Yes, thank you. I was trying to think of what it was called, and I couldn't remember. My brain was dying. But no, I wonder if, what we're going to see out of the defense here, the same thing?
Are we really going to see Zarya mirror? Okay.
I guess we are.
I like the Mei pick in concept, but it might be difficult to execute on depending on sort of how safe Banger ends up playing. Will Banger make the adaptations upon seeing the Mei, play farther back and play safer? Are we going to see a Brig Juno? Are we playing Kiri Lucio? Log hovering the Brig. Wanu was hovering the Juno, but now swapping over to the Kiri. Oh, and there's the Pharah that was expected going with Kiri Lucio. I don't mind this comp at all from...
we're back
on the Brig. Okay, so we're going to Juno Brig.
Back to Brig Juno.
Not a terrible pick. The current, basically meta pick right now in pro play of backlines. I don't mind the Pharah at all, but he might have some trouble, double hit scan on the other side. It's really going to be difficult to get in here. Maybe he'll end up switching, maybe not. I didn't mind the Mei pick earlier. Dyer playing on an interesting spot on Ashe. Completely misses the dynamite, and Soup just dies to poke. Not ideal, and that's going to be sort of a free first point here for Dallas. They're just going to walk in and win. I mean, this Juno Brig is a much better brawl backline, much more sustained, actually able to play quite a bit faster with the speed ring and the more survivability. Banger now swapping over to the Winston. I like this pick quite a lot. The Juno Break backline isn't impossible to dive. It's difficult, but it's still very easily doable as long as you execute it well. The problem is still these double hit scan, more pokey DPS on the side of Louisville. You would really love to see Dire probably going back over to the Sombra, Rico either on like the Reaper or Tracer, but sort of not really happening. I mean, Banger just taking infinite poke, didn't back up, just died to basically a 1 energy Zarya.
But Johan really low.
Lemon is super low. Can they find the kill on Lemon? Lemon is going to barely escape with their life, almost dying to burnout, but still a massive amount of space gained here for Dallas. They're going to be able to walk the card up very far, get a good amount of time. I mean, they have over 5 minutes here for this second attack. They're very happy with even just losing that fight. Even if it's, you know, not ideal to lose your tank there, they can work with it. They still got the ult charge. Lemon going to be coming up on this very early overclock. We're going to see if they can get the magic going that they had before. Take the rotate to high ground. Really, Banger needs to be playing aggressive here. Jumps onto the Sojourn. That is the correct play. Wanu going to die early, but Lemon sliding in, gets the kills onto Helios, gets the kill onto Dire. Banger, however, trading out, making it even, and Lemon's going to die. There's only Lucio healing right now, and he's going to drop as well, but everyone on the side of Dallas is really far in. They didn't have their own supports available. Johan going to die, gets sort of staggered out here a bit. And even though it was a really good engage to start there from Dallas, they just weren't able to sustain through the dive. The Juno, again, Wanu just getting picked off early.
I definitely think this monkey pick is way more beneficial for Louis here. Not even just in... Okay.
More random poke. Dire using the Ashe duel.
I was gonna say, not even just in composition-wise, but it seems that they play better with bangers on this monkey.
Have a better idea of how they want to play here. You know, I'm gonna do my own ranting real quick. Marked up, picking the shield perk for Pharah. Obviously, no idea what they're doing, because being able to move well and ult, so much better. But you know, we don't shame too hard
maybe
here.
I know I've definitely misclicked some of them before.
No, it's not a misclick because I've seen them do it before in other matches. They've done it before in other matches. It's their go-to. You know, if they like it, they like it. But next fight. Let's just focus on the next fight, right? 5 ults on the side of Louisville. If they lose this, I'm probably just gonna, like, you know, maybe say some profanities, ban some people from the server. Yeah, inexcusable to lose this. This Brig Juno backline, however, still after the monkey switch. I don't like this. Wanu ideally would be going over to Ana.
And Log,
so
and Lemon,
and Bard. Log and Lemon were playing on an off angle there, looking to probably rotate to this high ground on the right side. Not a bad idea, but they got caught out. The team wasn't ready to engage off of it. Probably they shouldn't have done that. If they were going to do that, it needed to be with the whole team, ideally, not just the 2 of them. They're too easy to just catch out, get poked out, and die. Only Bob invested. But, you know, Dallas didn't use anything. They're going to be going into this. Double support ults on both sides. Really, I think it's going to be how well does Wanu avoid dying here during the Ray? Do they get Ray Jacks? Do they get the Ray off? Do they die before getting the Ray? Like, what can go here? Is there going to be good Ray value? And also, you know, will Marked Up not immediately blow up during their ult? Because they chose to not pick the one where and Wanu dies early. They can't get the Ray off. That's an amazing pick. Ideal.
Is so unfortunate for them.
If you're... and Dire winning the Ashe 1v1 on Lemon, getting the kill. If you're Louisville here, you really don't want to have to use this Primal. Banger should be trying to play their life. Get some bit of chase in. Even if you drop really low, probably you still don't want to use the Primal. You'll be able to get back fast. And clean disengage here from Dallas. And, you know, that 5 minutes, over 5 minutes, starting to go down here. And they, Louisville, they won that last fight without using an ult, which is really perfect for them. So, Ray really early, and there's no speedering to go with it. Really far back, Ray super, just getting no value. Dire drops low, gets the dynamite. Marked Up does get the kill, however,
but he gets
immediately dies. Bob's going to be thrown all the way into the backline. They're just going to immediately jump to chase him. Banger, 1 HP. Don't want to pop the Primal yet. Gonna try and chase Lemon. But, I mean, Point right now is just getting walked in. There's no one there on it. Helios going to get dumped in. They need to find the kill off of this. Rally from Law going to use in. Soup getting chased down by the Brig in the small room. He's probably going to end up dropping. He does. Johan gonna get Primal forced. And Ricochet, already 1 HP, dies to the Primal. Bob used from Dire in the 3v5. They're going to find Log. Helios 1 HP. Dire drops as well. This is not going to be a fight that Louis are able to take almost certainly. No supports alive. Oh, Rico, however, investing in the visor. Helios, 1 HP, going to die to Wanu on the flank. 0.3 meters left. Soup going in to get the kill onto Wanu. Big Dynamite comes in. Rico 1 HP, Soup 1 HP. Rico's going to drop. Soup's going to drop as well. It's just Dire left. Marked up gets the kill. Oh my gosh. Both teams just throwing basically everything and the kitchen sink
actually everything into that. No ults on either side. Everybody used everything.
That fight could have been decided for Louis. Like that fight could have been it for Louisville. Just if they had a bit more focus, a bit more team coordination, but just not quite able to get that extra centimeter over the line and unable to finish off what very well could have been the final fight of the map there. But now we're heading into third. And Marked Up getting close to another ult. Wanu also getting close to another ult. Laga has now swapped over to Lucio. I like this pick more than the Brig, especially with the Winston. But really, I would probably prefer to see like an Ana or a Kiri for more backline survivability. It's just going to be really difficult. You know, Johan getting poked out. Gonna jump in. Rico, however, takes I'm assuming a headshot from Lemon. Soup caught while riding by the Ashe and by the Pharah. Going to get picked off. And now, you know, Louisville just having to give up the space here. They have nothing to work with. However, you know, okay, I say that Banger went in again, getting really poked out low, not gonna get chased. Johan wasn't able to get the jump on him, but Lemon doing all that poke. Soup probably just gonna die immediately again upon getting back. However, no, Rico makes it back.
Rico.
We really need Helios really needs to be using this ult here. Soup dies to the bomb. Helios, you have to use the Kitsu. There's the Kitsu. It comes out. Banger going to get bursted down by the fire ult. However, going to get traded. Dire just looking to see if he can get the Bob up here. Unable to get the Bob up. Gets the Bob onto point. Bob is going to live on point. Still on point, has not been booped off. They have to burn the Bob. Rico just waiting it out for the touch. Soup and Rico are both back. Rico and Soup both going to drop and is going to be basically even time banks here. Just going into that last fight. Banger taking so much poke, sort of playing too aggressive when needed, and just crucial kills here coming from Lemon onto the DPS and supports.
I mean, that second point was just like the time that they were able to chip off was insane, and then they just, I don't know, that was like not even 2 fights for third.
And that was just a crazy final fight there on second. I mean, that sort of set the stage, really, I think, for Dallas to even full cap the map. They had barely more ult advantage going into third there. They had won that fight. They had used their ults earlier in that fight that they won. They were able to charge it up faster, and just also crucial mistakes from Louisville getting picked off early. Soup caught wall riding by the hit scam, by probably some Pharah damage from the rockets, and then later Banger just taking so much poke, getting caught out again. Same with Rico. And really, they just need to give more heed to Lemon here, and even Marked Up on the Pharah, just outputting so much damage, and they're just not really giving it any respect.
Louisville opting to go the Brig Ana here with Bastion.
I like the Brig Ana. The Bastion's definitely picked. Key to note, now that it's overtime rounds, everyone starts with max perks. So none of this sort of waiting to see what perks are going to be picked, how they want to use it, just immediately going in. I'm not sure I necessarily agree with the Bastion pick, but it can definitely work against this Winston comp. They're going to probably looking to get an early dive on this backline. Johan jumping in.
And down goes
Helios just dying instantly. Soup unable to get the whip shot. Marked Up going to die to the Bastion. Lemon dying early, however, to Soup barely living. However, Johan gets the trade. Rico's going to die as well to Johan here, almost certainly on this Winston dive on the backline. Yeah. However, Dire and Banger just able to clean up these last people, these stragglers that were called out, and they get this final kill onto Johan. I mean, Dallas still have a touch, but that was really dangerous there looking for Louisville. They really had a rough time. Helios even swapping off of the Ana onto the Juno. Perhaps feels more comfortable and more like they can survive on that. And Lemon going to be the first touch. Try not to get your recall force. You do. Probably could have blinked out the other way. Winston jumps in. Gonna get Bubble immediately burst down by the Bastion. Now, can they get a tick here on first point? It looks like they will. Tick gained. That's first tick gotten. They are going to get almost second tick here. Don't leave the point. They're not on point. They're not on point. Okay, they get back onto point. Banger trying to trade some space out. Dire gets fought out by Dire. Sombra getting kills on the backline, getting damage, manages to escape. Johan with the early primal, however, just getting burned by the Bastion form. No HP, however, Soup dying to that early primal. Key critical kill there. Dire 1 HP forced to translocate away, and Lemon able to get the kill on Rico. EMP comes out here from Dire. They managed to find the kill on Log. Wanu dying to the balls here from Helios, but Dire going to end up dropping as well. It's just going to be Wanu and Banger versus Johan and Lemon here. Helios, no HP, managing to live, going to end up dying to the Sniper Monkey, and it looks like Dallas actually going to get this first cap here on this point. However, Banger doesn't want to give this up yet. He wants to use the Primal, he wants to hang on. Johan has no HP. Soup is back on the break. Is he going to use the rally? He doesn't use the rally. However, Johan gets the kill here or gets dropped here. However, Banger going to back out of this. But Dire's going to keep contesting, going to TP out. Banger going to jump back in, gets a bit of healing. Marked up, super low HP. Bastion going to come in onto this small area. Marked up, no HP still. B going to use. They get the cap on this first point. Soup, probably critical error there, not using the Briggle if you're going to commit to that touch. If you use the Briggle there, you don't die. You can stun Johan and probably get the kill, but now Dallas, they're going into this overtime. They have more ults. They have the June ult. They have both DPS ults. And there's just double support ults on the other side here from Louisville. They're granted they're both good ults, but it could be, you know, they match the rays and then they can just burst down the brig with Pharaoh or with Pulse Bomb. Super dangerous territory now for Louisville. This overtime push could really start to get going now. They really have to look for perhaps an early kill into Wanu again, or maybe even onto the Pharah. Gets the hack onto Wanu. They're not going to. But Ray gets caught early to die. Marked up, die early, not able to get the ult off. Bows there is used. Super dropping in the rally. It's just going to. Wanu's going to die around the Bastion form. It's just Johan and Lemon here left alive. They have nothing to work with. How long can Lemon stall? Can anyone get back in time? Probably not going to happen.
Just Lemon sitting on this point. Down. They go. Oh my goodness.
Early dive from Louisville, manages to find the value. They kill Marked Up before he can get the ult off. Marked Up caught out early, not in good positioning. Needed to be playing safer, looking to nuke someone there with the ult. Probably should have picked being able to move in the ult. More of, you know, just bashing for the, like. But that is still a very good overtime push there, coming in from Dallas. Like, super, super ideal. I mean, only a minute left, even capping first, when really it looked like they weren't going to get it at all. This is just getting, you know, a third of the way through second point. Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be... I mean, this is all or nothing for Louisville here.
Yeah, we're going to, like, will they keep this Bastion?
We shall see. We shall see.
It's looking, you know, they're going to start with the Zarya Mei.
Zarya, stop!
I mean, Lemon here no longer on a more pokey DPS on the Tracer, but Helios could just end up getting called out really easily here by Lemon. It's really just, again, give me the game. Does the Juno get caught out, or do they live? Is there going to be peel? And, you know, this is a better comp to be playing Zarya into than earlier. They're on the Diva, they're off of more poke, but the Torb and the backline is still going to be hard to get on.
But it's going to be a question of, like, if they can keep their momentum going, because the last time they played Zar, it wasn't the best.
Yeah, I mean, really just interesting compositional choice here from Louisville. They're looking, I mean, they have a lot of ability to punish this Diva. The Zarya, the Sombra, the Mei, all together. Like, the Diva's not going to have a good time. So Dire gets scouted early and dies.
Oh, no.
They do manage to force the recall off Lemon. Lemon going to be sort of chilling on their own in the backline. Good. Soup gets the boop off on high ground. Nade used early, but Rico dies.
No.
You have to be backing out of this now if you're Louisville. You can't afford to get staggered here. You can't afford really to take a slow time here and get, you know, just late deaths. Helios jumping early, gonna die to one here, and they just need to leave. Banger needs to leave and needs to live. So does Dire. They still have a fight here, but that's really, again, like same occurrence as Louisville on their defense.
Helios choosing to swap the Kiri here.
I like this pick. It's much more survivable, much more.
I agree.
You know, just easy to even participate. Hacked onto Johan. Will he burst Johan down? The Banger just completely losing the fucking thought there onto Johan, not able to find where he is. They are going to get the touch off, find the kills. Banger has no more bubbles. That's key to note. Dire dies early. Wanu going to be looking for a nade here onto the backline. Sleep on Rico. Suzu used early. Lemon dies. Can Wanu get a good nade in here? Rico.
Johan falls really low and he gets teabagged.
Super low. Rico going to die here, but they do get the trade out here. Log went too far in. Going to die. Johan, no mech. Banger, full HP on the
and down goes Mark.
Soup critically still living through this. Banger still alive.
Just
Dire going to die, and it just leaves Wanu as the last one alive. They weren't able to get the nade value after that. Suzu and, you know, Johan just getting completely pressured out. Will Johan swap? Log going to swap off the brig. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think he was like, like 80 to Briggle or something, or like 60 or something. Johan, however,
Wanu just getting that bad spawn is
yeah.
not going to be able to get there fast
Oh yeah,
at
that's
all.
very important here. Wanu not having good spawn, but they'll still have time. They will have this nano coming up. Johan opting to keep the Diva. I would have preferred a Winston. You have the nano engage onto this backline with the Winston. You don't really care about the bomb. You get the Tracer in there as well. You can maybe just immediately delete someone. Johan going to try and chase an early kill here. Just gets walled off, gets hacked, going to drop. Pulse bomb used, finds nothing. Johan out of the mech, but big. But they're going to end up actually beating it, going to get the kill on Johan. Can they find this kill and marked up? They do. Nano used onto just a log to keep him up, but it looks like Louisville going to end up winning this map. Johan just critically went way too far forward. Wanu somehow kills Dyer. Lemon the only one on point. Wanu ever going to drop, and Lemon not able to touch. Louisville ends up taking second map. Just critical errors again from Johan, getting caught out too early there, going after a kill, chasing a kill on, I think, a Kiri dink onto some squishy, just not ideal. They get walled off, they get hacked, they just get beamed to death, and they have no front line. But, this great 4K here from Lemon. Really, the tone of the game changed after they came in. This would be, this is still a really close game. Like, this is very much winnable, regardless of who team you're betting on. I mean, the score says 2-0, but that was a really close map. Both teams making both very good plays and really bad errors that allowed this game to just remain competitive and remain very interesting.
Alrighty. What does thou pull out of their back pocket here, going into map 3?
Esperanza.
Are we going to Esperanza?
Esperanza, a very interesting pick. One of the better push maps. I mean, really though, it's like, what do they want to play? I think they need to stick to this on a brig style if they want to have a lot of success. I mean, that's what they've been seeing the most success on. It's just that they've been making critical errors with where their backline is positioned, where their tank is positioned. But when they are set up, they've been, they've shown that they're able to execute these dives well, and they're able to get the value necessary to make it work. And Esperanza, pretty good for that sort of playstyle. However, it is also pretty good for the rush that Louisville has been favoring. It's sort of a clash of styles here. I mean, rush is good, especially on that first fight. It can be harder retaking, trying to make it into that really massive high ground by the checkpoint. But after checkpoint, it's really good. Final stretch, it's really good. But dive also works very well. There's plenty of high ground, plenty of far positions that an honor brig can set up. Be safe, control the angles, get good nades in, get good sleeps, being able to heal up a Winston, do damage. And really, it's just going to be a clash of styles here. Somber going to be the first ban, coming in from Dallas. They've had enough of dire shenanigans. They want out. It's really going to, like, what is the follow-up ban, however? What are we looking at? They can't ban a DPS, but, what do you ban for tank? What do you ban? Like, do you ban the Ana? Actually, they can't. I'm pretty sure they already banned Ana, but I don't remember. No, they didn't. Nope. They could ban Ana. They could make this harder. They could also ban the brig, make it so that Log can't play brig here, and make the backline much more diveable. I mean, Wanu, again, having a rough time here, getting targeted.
And yep, you called it. They banned the brig. Solid choice, I think. Definitely.
I definitely like that pick. It makes it, a lot easier to execute fast rushes onto Dallas here. And they might just be able to execute and kill Wanu over and over. I mean, that's what's been happening. But now that Somber's gone, I mean, the Somber has been a key part of their dives. Dyer's been getting really good hacks off, getting good virus value, getting good EMP value. But now they can't play that. So what is Dyer going to pick instead? Will Dyer play Tracer? Will Dyer pick a longer range hit scan? What are we going to end up seeing here?
I'm wondering. I mean, I definitely think we saw a lot of Genji out of Dyer last season. We've seen some hit scan from him this season, so we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, and I think like if we're talking ideal, you would love to see sort of more of a rush, like Winston Rush style coming out from Louisville. Take advantage of the flatter plains on this map. I mean, that's what we're starting on. We're going to see early cast pick from Rico. I don't mind that at all. He might just have trouble getting, you know, walked up by Lemon or Johan, but still has the flashbang. They have to be careful. But really what's interesting here is the ball comp coming out from Johan. Will they be able to execute well off of slams? Will their backline being able to survive? That is the question here. That is sort of the matchup is, will they be able to live long enough to get value from the ball?
I'm with you, Genji.
And to answer our earlier question, Adair coming out on Genji here.
Yeah, I mean, the Genji play is very nice. Allows for cleaner engages, which is going to end up happening. Lemon sort of on his own with Soup, and Rico. So Soup and Rico sort of sticking together. Ball not really able to execute a dive. However, in the blink
Dan goes down the backline.
Yep, very good and clean dive onto the backline. Like I said, can they live long enough to execute their own dives with the ball? And the answer was no. Marked up, swapping over to the Torb. Not a bad pick. Torb is very good against dive, very survivable with that overload. Just sort of able to walk away from people while doing damage with the turret, doing a ton of damage and a ton of poke, even with just his regular gun. But again, it's will Johan get good positioning, get good disruption, manage to slow down this dive from Louis long enough to find value off of it. Gonna miss this initial slam. Does, however, force them off high ground for a bit. Louisville gonna end up retaking. Johan slams onto Rico. No follow-up available. Sort of just a lot of posturing right now. Not a lot going on. Really, just a whole lot of nothing. Another slam gonna come in. Gets boot back. Still nothing. Right now, like, your cart hasn't moved. Rico's gonna get really low. So is Soup. Suzu is used early. However,
But Log goes down
gets
and
caught out. The banger. Again, this is what I was talking about. Torb does a lot of damage, able to get the trade on the banger, but Dyer there to follow up, able to get revenge there, but not before Lemon was equal, but it's still just not going to be enough. Wanu and Lemon both going to drop, even though Johan is still alive. Not really going to be able to get much done here as a solo ball. Going to eventually just get forced out by the 3 members of Louisville that are still alive. Soup really getting a quite fast beat here. I mean, you compare it to what Log is at. Already having beat, I mean, even both support ults just... Okay. Dyer just deletes Log. Gonna go in with the blade. Wants the clip. Trying to farm it. Can't really get the kills. Gets one. Going to drop really low. Going to die to Johan. But, you know, this whole time the card is still pushing. And that's still a 2-for-1. Johan going to go in with the mines. Gets boot back again. Great boot. High noon zoning. Probably going to get the kill here on Johan. Recall forced. And, you know, that's going to be first checkpoint here for Louisville. Really just Johan and Lemon not having much success here on executing dives or even slowing down the relentless engages here from Louisville.
I feel like I've said nothing, but I don't need to say anything.
A whole lot of nothing has happened. Like, the only ult that has occurred here, I think, from the side of...
And down goes
Dallas
Wanu
Johan,
early.
and
Johan's
Wanu dies
incredibly
early
low.
again. Johan has no HP. I mean,
This is...
they're just getting, like, Log and Marked Up have not, like, they're just now getting their first ults. I think, has Lemon ulted yet with a pulse bomb? I think just now was the first pulse bomb.
That's the second one. That's the second.
Okay,
That's the
second
second
pulse bomb, but Log dies again, getting caught out again.
This is...
And they're just,
God.
you have to think that there's some sort of just mental boomage going on here. I mean, they're just getting
Yeah.
walked out. There's been no fight on this third map. Maybe that last map just took everything from them. Lemon swapping over back onto the Ash, not really liking the trace anymore. Flashbang going to come out onto Johan, going to drop him super low. Beat's going to be traded. P2 also used from the side of Dallas, as is the Molten Core. Soup going to end up dying here. Really good damage in. Rico going to die. And finally, we're going to see Dallas take a fight win. It's just, it cost them both support ults and Torbolt for just B.
Oh, but they get a
Power late stagger onto Helios.
Stagger into Helios, who...
Pretty good. I don't think that'll stop Helios from getting good spawn, but still, you know,
I
it
don't think
stops,
so either, but...
stops Louisville from getting good position. Really, you would like to see Louisville not sitting on this low ground. You want to see him push high ground. You know, point has yet to move for the side of Dallas. There's really no reason to be trying to force out checkpoint, but they're going to do it anyway. really, you just want to see a fast Kitsu play here, or even just Primal if possible. You just dive deep with the Winston, with the Primal, and use nothing else, but they're really not getting anything done. Rico
and Johan takes the Rico, but Banger takes Mark.
Johan uses mines way in the back line. Johan really, I think, would love be seen here just stealing point, but he can't. Soup going to get the kill here on the log. Dire using Blade, entirely unnecessary. Let's be real here. They'd already killed 30, but, you know, gotta farm the clip somehow. And Marked Up also swapping off of the Torb onto the Pharah. It can work. Again, it can work on this map. It's just super difficult. I mean, Rico's gonna be on the Cassidy. It's gonna be hard for him to get in and get value here on the Pharah, but we'll see if he's able to get value off of it. I doubted him before. He still managed to get kills out of Barrage. But again, crucially, Helios has not used the Kitsu. They still have that to work with. Wanu does not have Kitsu to match. In fact, the only ult they're close to that can even match this is Bob, which can work to match Kitsu, but it has to be done in a really good way. I mean, Bob's gonna go out early. Ball comes in to follow. Really good follow-up there. I mean,
I'll take a
good. That was a good, clean engage from Dallas. I would have liked to have seen Louisville commit to an engage sooner. They had the Kitsu, they had the High Noon. You really don't need to be playing super scared. You have all of the advantage here. You have all of the meterage. You had all of the space. But, you know, they just sort of just sit there and get walked at and die. I mean, now Wanu gonna be able to match Kitsu's. And Johan getting close to another minefield here, as well as Log being able to match Soup on the beat charge. So I think we're going to see a pretty chaotic fight here. I mean, Johan taking a lot of
Johan
almost dies.
Really
dies.
low.
Johan is super low. Kitsu
able to get out
early. Dire going to take a lot of damage. Gets super low as well. I mean, they just have to give up so much space here, trying to chase that kill into Johan. Will they even touch for checkpoint? They will not.
Seem like it.
Johan going to jump in early. Like, again, really... the Kitsu here is just, it feels a bit too late. I mean, the minefield is able to interdict it a bit, gets the kill on the Soup. High Noon, however,
Rico gets two with that
Log
High Noon.
and Marked Up, just caught lacking, I guess.
Banger taking a lemon.
Dive, gets the kill on Lemon. I mean, it's just Johan and Wanu left.
And Dire's pushing the bot.
I mean, the Kitsu from Helios, not amazing, able to get blocked off by the mines, but I guess it made Dallas complacent. They weren't prepared at all for the High Noon from Rika and just get caught out. They die early. Easy fight win there for Louisville. I mean, and going into this next one, you still have the beat. Can you find value off of it? I mean, Marked Up going really low early, going to get healed up. Beat really early from Log, gets basically no value. Soup is going to have the better beat here. They can afford to just give up their space. I mean, Johan gets Suzu use on him. And there comes the beat engage now from Soup. Can they isolate someone? Marked Up, 1 HP, going to get killed. Log falls as well. Wanu, 1 HP on the low ground, going to die. Only Rico so far is the casualty from Louisville. Much better beat from Soup there. I mean, apparently, you know, Johan just gonna roll through Dire and kill him. Just much better beat from Soup. Log beating really early. I don't know if it was a panic beat or if it was just a bad call, just not able to follow up on anything.
Soup heard us call him out for that one beat last map, and
apparently
he upped his game.
Yeah, and now Dire just gonna blade Log. Apparently, Log owed him lunch money or something. Gonna get the kill on him. However, just gonna die to Lemon. Bob thrown in by Lemon as well. Soup trying to chase the kill, dies. This is gonna end up being a fight win almost certainly for Dallas, unless something really strange happens, which maybe not. I mean, wait, Barrage used, but also Banger used the Primal, but gets the kill on Wanu. He's still gonna die in that smart room. I mean, maybe chasing kills, but just didn't leave. I mean, the fact that you forced out Barrage there is still really crazy.
That is,
but,
yeah.
But using the Primal, maybe not ideal. But you know what's... Helios is back up to another Kitsu, and Wanu still has not used Kitsu. I mean, I think they've used it once this game, but they've been nursing it. They've been really nursing this Kitsu. They really just need to sort of throw it down at any point here and just get value out of it. Banger gonna take an early aggression to high ground. Wanu just 1 HP, gets somehow just
able to get out
completely on their own. Had to use both cooldowns. Going to just keep getting chased by Banger. Banger sort of on his run right now. Marked Up, able to get the checkpoint. Mine's going to go in. Wanu still 1 HP on the high ground. Somehow still alive. Uses Dire, falls in the mines.
Straight into them.
Dies.
Rico in the backline with a High Noon.
Has no one to shoot at. Somehow still gets the kill on Lemon.
What?
Lemon taking the ego duel against the one-shot ability. Just no care in the world at all. But
No, on take out Rico, and
you know,
it's
Rico, yeah, just gonna die. I mean, this has just been sort of a clown fiesta of a map so far. I mean, interesting play after interesting play, for being generous. I mean, going to this next one again, we have the dueling Kitsus and Log. Going to have, can Log get a beat that doesn't get...
and down goes Dire super
early.
early. Oh
Again.
my goodness.
Like, and Soup
falls really low.
Super low, going to die as
Down
well.
he goes.
Marked up drops. Banger's gonna drop. Okay. But they have to get on bot. They're not on bot right now. This would be a terrible C9. Okay, they do not C9 this. But okay, going into this last fight, it's gonna be, well, not this last fight, but overtime fight. Double support ults and Primal versus double support ults Bob and Mines. Lemon, on their own, crucially, already half HP. Can they get found out? No. Banger going to drop. Both Kitsus dropped on point. Primal dropped on point.
Oh
Bob
my
is going to be
goodness.
dropped on point as well. Just everything getting used.
It is an ult
Really,
fest.
Dire going to drop.
Mark
If you are
takes the Dire.
Louisville should be kiting this. However, they want to commit with the beats. Both beats going to be used. All ults dropped into this. Just, you need to start kiting now. This is going to be a fight win for Dallas. You need to give up the space. You need to just try and take another fight. You still have time, but it's going to be, you know, the Barrage versus the High Noon. Will the Barrage get value? Will the High Noon get value? Or will one of them just fall over? Dire, you do not need to touch yet. Just play your life. Dire is just going to touch and immediately get refill forced instead of playing their life. Slam early. Massive dynamite forces Suzu. Marked up, getting completely poked out here. Going to drop.
down he goes!
Rico going to pop the High
Rico
Noon
popping
early.
the High
Going to
Noon!
get knocked back. Dire dies to the Lemon on the...
Able to get low with that dude. Oh my
Rico
goodness.
gets the kill on the long. They're going to be
Lemon
down
falls
one support.
incredibly
One
low.
going to drop as well. No supports alive.
Dragon's
That's going
Lemon.
to be it. It's just
It is
the
just the
alive.
ball.
And that's just going to be the final map over. Louisville with the 3-0.
Holy fuck. What a series. I feel like it has been a while since I've seen such a intense game where you're like, this could actually go anyway here. And then something happens and you're like, holy fuck, what just happened? That was fun. Thank you. I mean, I'd say cast, but you did most of it. I just got to sit back and relax. Great work coming up from both teams, though.
That last map was definitely an experience of, you know, we'll be generous and say choice plays, you know, very inspired, we'll go with ideas of how we wanted to execute on the game, you know, trading fight wins back and forth, trading picks back and forth, but still just really a nail biter the whole way through. The scoreline really not showing the reality of that game.
Yeah, no, that was wild to watch. I mean, I feel like Dow was so close and then just couldn't quite get it every time, and it was just so unfortunate to watch.
Yeah, just really unfortunate match there for Dallas. I mean, they were, yeah, like you said, just so close, one step away the whole time on, you know, both of those last two maps, just not quite able to finish it out, get the map win, and keep the series going. But, yeah, still, they played really well. Louisville, even though they won, I mean, I don't know if you would say you're super proud of that win. That was very messy. I mean, it felt more of Dallas losing than Louisville winning than anything else.
That is true. I do think there were some great moments that Louisville can be proud of, but I think as a whole, it was a bit rough around the edges.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know. I don't know who they're gonna be playing next, but maybe we see some improvement. I mean, I definitely think, like, as two of the lower teams in the league, they have to come out and show out, and we're getting into week 6 soon here, so hopefully they can.
We're definitely, you know, at the very least for Louisville, they're looking to cement a spot in these, you know, in this postseason playoffs. Dallas, I think that at this point they have been mathematically eliminated, which is, you know, obviously unfortunate, but they still have one game left. They're going to be looking to get that win on the board. They didn't look bad at all. It's just that it wasn't quite enough for this match.
Yeah. And I think that's it from us. I mean, we
Yeah.
kind of have to make our way out. There is another stream, multiple streams in just 15 minutes here at 9 p.m. EST. We've got Las Vegas versus Montreal, as well as Nashville and New York, if I'm not mistaken. And then later on at 10 EST, we'll have Ottawa versus War, where you can see Abon himself on the Widow.
Yep, walking only Widow. Unless, you know, some things come up, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think that's all from us. More like a see you soon rather than a goodbye.
Yeah.
The stream is coming up pretty soon
Stream
here.
coming back in 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah.